Oscar from Eco Air is joining me here on the Checker Pro Radio Show to answer another question from a listener. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Jim. How are you?
I am living the dream. Thanks for asking. Questions come in. How often should I change the air filters on my air conditioning and heating system?
Oof. Well, the more often, the better. But rule of thumb, every 3 to 6 months, change that thing. Do it like your life depends on it, because it does.
Why is it so important?
Because man, if that thing is not replaced, it's actually going to increase your energy bills. It's going to decrease the life expectancy of that system. It's going to overwork parts. It's going to start affecting your health, because then when it's super clogged, it's going to start going through that ductwork, and you're going to be breathing in the same dirt that you guys that people bring in, right, from the outside. From, skin falls off too, right? People don't know that too. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that you're going to be rebreathing. So very important to change that thing out.
I like to tell people it's like not controlling your blood pressure. So
Yeah.
picture this, everybody. If you have an air filter, which is designed to keep your air conditioning system clean and your air clean. Okay, so a couple things. The air that we breathe, right? We want it to be clean and friendly for our lungs and our health. But also the air conditioning and heating system needs to be clean of all of these particles and other things, pollen, dog hair, dander, dust, dirt. And so the high blood pressure thing is if that's not clean, the filter, if it's not clean, it's harder and harder on the system. So the pressure builds up. And to your point, now the system won't last as long. You could have failure. But if you have a clean filter, now the air can flow better, and it's going to save you more money on your electric bill or your gas bill or whatever's running your system. You're going to get the airflow you need, much like blood pressure flow.
Yes.
And it's just a healthier system. Now, I do know that some systems require sometimes monthly, some every 3 months, maybe some can go 4 to 6 months, depending upon things. So how does someone know?
Okay. So there's either pets or no pets. With its pets, I've seen filters get clogged up in a matter of 40 days, month and a half. So if you have pets that do that shed, then 100% monthly. It's a very inexpensive part, $5.99 on Amazon, and it'll save you thousands of dollars down the future. So that's it. Yep. And if it's just like a single family home with maybe an elderly couple, every 6 months. But if there's kids involved too, they naturally bring in a lot of dirt too, right? From, playing outside, and all that stuff. So I would probably recommend with kids every 3 months, but definitely always keep an eye out on that thing.
So the more dirt, the more dander, the more pet hair.
Yes.
And there are different filters. Now there's a less expensive filters that go in the returns, and there's different types. Some are very inexpensive, and some are pleated and cost more. And then there's media filters that don't get put in those returns. They're up in the system. Talk a little bit about the differences.
Well, the biggest difference is going to be the thickness of that filter, right? So the thicker the filter, the less you're going to need to change it. And it's also the thicker the filter, the media big April airs, those are always going to be your best bet to increase that longevity of that system, just because you're not going to have to worry about changing that filter out as often as your 1-inch filters. But yeah, so the only difference is changing out that big media filter, 4-inch, 5-inch every year is my recommendation. And even then, if you have pets and stuff, change that thing out every 6 months. Always keep an eye on it.
So in my home, we have 2 different units. We have a 3-ton for upstairs and a 5-ton for downstairs. And we have the April Air media filters. And I'll tell you, the 5-ton, which is for the bigger space, that gets a lot dirtier than the upstairs, the smaller one.
Yep. That's a fact. There it is. Exhibit A.
Yep. But religiously, I have them replaced twice a year.
Yeah.
the one really needs it. The other one, yeah, it's questionable when I change it, but I'm like, let's just stay on a system so we don't have to remember which is which. We just do both.
Yes.
And not all systems have that media filtration system, but I do believe there are systems where you can add that to it, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Jim.
So that's an option. So if someone has the 1 inch filters, which generally go in all the returns, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Right in the hallway, you can see it.
In
Yes.
that grill that
Yes.
comes down or pops out of the wall depending upon where that return is. And generally all of those would need a filter, but I've been told if you have media filters, you might want to take the 1 inch out of your returns.
100%. Yeah, I would 100% do that because if you already have your big thick media filter up in the attic close to the furnace, then there's no need to overchoke the system with an extra filter. That's where people can get it twisted, right? Adding a single 1 inch, and then already having the one upstairs it's in my opinion unnecessary, and you can get rid of that for sure.
Yeah, and that saves you some time for sure, because if your house is a decent sized house and you have 2 levels maybe, and 2 units, you may have a number of smaller filter replacements to do in those returns versus just one April Air media filter per heating air conditioning unit.
Correct.
Yeah. Sounds complicated, everybody, but it's not. But for those of you who really want a better filtration system, call Eco Air out and have them take a look. They can put in a media filter, and they do cost more, but they last longer and you don't need as many of them. It's a great overall value, and your air conditioning and heating system is going to last longer and your house will be cleaner.
It's very true, Jim.
Yeah.
Give us a call. We'll take care of you guys.
Kind of a no-brainer. Okay.
I agree.
All right, Oscar, thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Jim. Thank you.